Hi, I'm Callie from CRK Training, and right now you're watching my weekly video show. The topic that I'd like to discuss in today's video is the issues with stabling horses for an extended period of time. So recently we've seen horses that are being kept in stalls for longer and longer periods. Some as simply a byproduct of domestic life and of our limitations to being able to give horses as much space as we would ideally like to, and also because of some beliefs that people have about how horses are best managed and best cared for. Now, it's first important to realize that the horse has evolved as a grazing species. So this means that they're designed to be moving and to be eating for a large portion of the day. And when we put them inside a stall where their movement is confined and their feeding is limited to normally a few times during the day, we really start to change how their body works. And there's some big, both mental and also physical issues and problems that we can start to see in our horses when they're stalled too much. A lot of times these will come up as issues that we might not necessarily relate to the stall time, or they can even come up as behavioral issues. One of the main issues for the horses mentally being in a stall is that there's simply a lack of stimulation. So they're not able to have social interactions with other horses the way that most barns are set up, and they don't really have any other mental stimulation through the day. This can lead to boredom. This can also lead to some horses for almost an overexcitability and almost overstimulation when they do come out of the stall and they're taken into another environment where there's a little bit more going on, where there's more distraction and more things for the horse to process. The main actual physical problems that we'll notice in the horse are problems that are either related to the digestive system and related to the different feeding schedules that horses have to be on when they're stalled for a large period of the day, or we'll see stress-related problems. So just some examples of this can be colic, it can be gastric ulcers. We can also start to see vices develop that can cause physical problems and also cause damage to our barns, so things like cribbing, things like stall walking and weaving. These are all signs of a horse that is mentally stressed or understimulated in some way, and because of that, we can start to have the physical problems that are associated with those vices. So the big question becomes, what can we do? How much time outside is enough? And how can we provide that to our horses? So this can be a tough question to answer. My thought is that the more time we can give horses outside, the better. I don't think that there is a specific number that has really been agreed upon as to exactly what horses need. However, the more time that they have outside, the better. The way that I manage my horses here on the farm is that most of the horses are out 24/7, and the ones that do come inside for another reason are usually in for no longer than half the day. Normally it's more like around 8 to 10 hours, so it's more like a third of the day. With some of the limits of space and just domestic life, sometimes this is an issue. But the more that you can provide some sort of turnout, the more that you can provide regular exercise for your horse, and any way that you can provide better social interaction and also more just mental stimulation. So simple things like hanging toys in the stall or putting a horse in a stall where he's got a friend that's nearby that he can at least see, or better yet, can touch and interact with some, like through bars between the stall walls, can really be a positive. But a lot of times even that is not necessarily enough. So as you're thinking about managing your own horse, or as you are considering facilities where you might be taking your horse, I would really encourage you to have the turnout and the amount of time that your horse is going to be able to spend outside as a really big factor in that decision. It's also important to remember that horses are not humans. When it's cold outside, or when it's hot outside, or if it's drizzling a little bit, we might prefer to be in our house and be dry and comfortable. but the horse does not necessarily share those same feelings. He's developed completely different. He is a species that is meant to be outside and moving, and I think when we can provide him with that, the horse is going to be healthiest and he's also going to be happiest. We're going to have a lot less behavior problems, and we're going to be able to have a better experience and a better relationship with our horse as well. So I would love to hear your comments on this. I would love to hear how you were able to get your horse outside more if you're at a boarding facility that maybe limits turnout. Leave a comment, and as always, the best comments and conversation happen at crktrainingblog.com. Go there now, and I'll see you in the comments.